It's what's in your wallet.
I'm so old.
I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 explosive hot dog carts.
Ritualistic blood magic.
Laser shooting chesty statues.
Don't watch movies unless we tell you to. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. It's time for Race Cars with my best friend Phil. It's a movie podcast where we drive real fast around a movie and we only turn left at that movie. I'm your host, Racer P. Coming around the tight curve is Captain Terror Chotis.
Okay.
And
Arg me hearty, it's me, Captain Terror.
Okay.
Well, they're all themed. My theme is pirates.
going down a long straightaway, if you know what I mean, is Snake Oiler Norland.
Oh, I got some things to tell you.
I like this guy. He should stick around.
Oh man, this is a great new character for Craig. So here's the deal: Captain Terror and Snake Oiler are both.
Are they real?
They're both racers from Speed Racer.
Snake Oiler, I think, was in the movie, wasn't he? Yeah.
Was he the greasy one?
He was the one who I think he threw a beehive at somebody.
Yeah, I believe he threw a beehive at someone.
As you do.
He also, I'm pretty sure, was wearing a snake costume.
He was.
And I think there was only one guy wearing a snake costume.
Yeah, hard to forget that.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming that is Snake Oiler.
I kind of thought of this movie as a fever dream, so... Yeah.
It's because it looks exactly like one.
Yes.
We keep picking fever dream movies, and I don't know what that means.
We're bored.
Is it that the whole world feels wrong? And we need a movie to feel wrong so the world feels right?
Oh.
That can't be it.
Yeah.
That seems too serious.
I have a question. Why drive only in circles going to the left? Why turning left? Why not going right? What's the difference?
Because NASCAR started as an anti-Catholicism race, and left means sinister. Sinister means left in Latin. So they thought, oh, we're going to get like dark with this, and we're just going to only turn left and go around a circuit instead of turning right at all because we hate Catholics.
Do you want to know the real reason?
Yes.
You're on the left side of the car.
That makes sense.
Are you sure? I think it might be mine.
Okay.
I'm
Where
a
did that
student
come
of
from?
history. I don't know. My dome? My brain
Uncle
hole?
John's bathroom reader?
Uncle John's bathroom reader and its deliciously wrong facts.
Anti-Semitic edition. Or no, that was anti-Catholic. Sorry.
Anti-Catholicism
Yes.
edition, which really is all of them.
Yeah.
Because it purports to tell you facts.
Ooh,
roasted.
Take that, Catholic Church.
Hey, I grew up in the Catholic Church. I can make those jokes, and I will feel guilty about it. Because again, I grew up in the Catholic Church. Oh man, where am I going with this one?
I don't know.
Guys.
Oh, there's a fly in here.
Oh, there's a fly in here.
Well, that's because no one knows how to close the door.
So I'll just get my thing out of the way.
Oh yeah, Craig's got some news. I've been waiting all day to hear it.
Yeah, what could
God.
it be? You guys already know what this is. So I'm not going to get into it too much, but to our listeners who didn't know about this, my house burned down on Memorial Day. And
wait, this was the news? Oh,
yes.
I don't know why I was excited.
Yeah, you should not be excited.
I thought you were going to talk about something else.
Yeah, sorry. So everyone's okay.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the silver lining of the whole thing. But my house is gone, plus my cars, plus everything. But we're living with my in-laws right now next door, and we're doing okay. So, and for all the people who have already donated or helped out, I can't thank you enough. Phil and Will here, especially, have been a huge help and just a comfort in this last week. And I couldn't ask for better friends. So thank you guys so much for all the support.
Well, you know,
We love you, man.
yeah, and just glad that you're here. You're still around.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a fun day.
Yeah,
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
That was scary. More for you guys, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
I say that every time
Yeah.
somebody's like, oh, how you doing? I'm like, oh, man, I'm okay. It's pretty rough. Worse for them, obviously.
Yeah.
I need to qualify it every time, just
Yeah.
in case somebody thinks that I'm like equivalentizing it in the slightest.
Yeah.
I am not.
So if the word fire comes up, I'm always going to just start yelling at whoever said it. So, yeah.
I think more likely if the word fire comes up, you're going to hear the physical cringe motion of me and or Will for having said it.
Yes.
And then Craig's going to just say something like, it's okay. You can just say
say
it.
the word
It's
fire
okay.
around me.
And I think that's probably more likely what's going to happen.
Probably.
Mostly because it's already happened.
Yes, it has.
Just not on the pod yet.
Yeah.
So one of the things that got burned up was my wallet.
Oh.
And today...
Oh, no.
And today...
That's right. It's time for the segment where we reach deep into our best friend's pants and wake up some recommendations. It's what's in your wallet.
Do you have a new wallet?
I did. I
And
got
it's
a new
literally
wallet.
nothing.
It's literally, I got a library card and I have a gift card.
Okay, I
And
just need...
Yeah.
I need it known to the world that you were able to get your library card before your ID.
I know.
Because libraries are great and the government is sometimes very bad at things and incompetent.
Yeah.
I'm not saying...
Well, libraries are technically... Aren't they part of the government?
I mean, it's
in
like a
way?
socialized service,
It's
I
a
think.
socialized, but very much more
But
local.
like, they're just really great. Libraries are great. So it's great that you got your library card.
Yes. But I also had a lot of books checked out.
In
So
the house.
they
Oh,
very much
yeah.
fined me a lot of money. So
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. It seems kind of in bad taste to
yeah,
do, but
yeah, you know.
I feel like I don't know. I refuse to believe that, like, I mean, I believe the reality of you telling me that it happened, but I'm like, that just seems so wrong. You know?
I know. I was kind of hoping to be like, hey, it's all
fine.
good.
It's all good.
we'll waive these.
Yeah.
No, it was very much because they're like, oh, insurance will take care of this. I'm like, yeah, in like 4 months.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know when I'm ever going to see any of this money, but okay, thanks. So anyway,
yeah, I mean,
I got a new wallet.
Yeah. Yes. Cool.
And but that's not my thing.
It's not wallets.
It's not wallets themselves.
surprised.
I'm going to just go on to my recommendation, which is a movie, Final Destination: Bloodlines.
Oh.
Ooh.
And also my life. Apparently, I dodged death, and so if you see like a falling timber,
Mm-hmm.
just go through my head. Just know that I was supposed to die at some point.
Yeah.
So,
This is Death's design.
Death's design. Yes.
Well, listen, if I've learned anything from those movies is that you can or can't
Yes.
win in the end.
Yeah.
It's one of the two, and they
It's one
don't
of
tell
the
you
two.
until the last 2 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, you're like, oh, maybe they got. Oh, never mind.
Maybe they got away. Oh, they're crazy
Yeah.
in an insane asylum.
So I think I saw the second movie first, and that was on TV. Like it was on TV all
Weird.
the time. Oh my god, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know why, but it was like on TNT or one of those, and it's one of those movie series that is just so unlike any other horror movie because it's not a tangible thing. They're not being stalked by, Freddy Krueger or, Jason or anything like that. It's just all of a sudden, it's like an invisible finger.
Rube Goldberg's your death.
Yeah. And man, they get just really elaborate. Like,
I mean, and that is the draw and the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you going is because these characters have to die. They've told you.
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like they keep teasing you like it's gonna die. This no.
It
It
wasn't that one.
It wasn't this one.
Yeah.
So the whole time you're just going like ha ha ha. So if you have anxiety like me, it's not super fun.
Not super fun. Yeah. The first one, the second one was big into the fake outs because they didn't want to do the same thing the first one did, which was just, getting hit by a bus or having a very drawn out fire with a knife landing in your chest. Like there are very straightforward ones in the first one. And then over the years, I saw 3 a couple times. It wasn't one of my favorites, but it was like, okay, that opener, the roller coaster opener, scares me more than any of the other ones because I know it's less likely to happen than all the other ones, but still, it feels like it's gonna happen.
Well, especially because like in that one, it's not like they're going to Cedar Point; they're going to like a fair. So that roller coaster was put up like
a day before
by like half drunk carnies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
when are carnies going to get some respect?
I said it and I thought that's actually kind of mean. Probably
they'll get it when they deserve it.
Yeah. I don't want to go on a roller coaster or a thrill ride that was built yesterday.
Yeah.
I want it seasoned a little bit. Not too much because
usually they're
quite
quite seasoned.
They're quite seasoned. That's the thing.
But I want it like
no, you want it
solid
solid and sunken into the earth a bit.
Yeah,
like nothing makes the structural integrity degrade than putting something together and apart and together and apart over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Again, by drunk carnies. I don't know why I'm picking on carnies.
Because again, they deserve it.
The fourth one is called The Final Destination, which was like the 3D gimmick one.
Oh boy.
And that's like a NASCAR race. So I'm like, well, that's never going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never going there.
I'm never going to go
I
there.
do love that the racist gets it.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of it.
And they never call him by his name. They always just call him the racist.
The racist.
That's the only part of that film that I like.
Yes.
Everything else in that movie is really bad, and it's the worst entry in the series. But I love that they continually just refer to him as the racist.
The pool part's kind of funny in a like, this could never happen.
It's so dumb.
And then the fifth one became like my all-time favorite because it was just a good theater experience. I
have 10 minutes left in that one, so don't spoil it, even though I know the ending and I know the spoiler.
But yeah, it's got a great spoiler at the end, and it's just really, really good. Discount Tom Cruise is there.
I said the same thing. I called him alternate universe Tom Cruise.
Yes, exactly.
There are scenes where I'm like, is this a Mission Impossible movie? And he's gonna take off his mask and reveal it was like a bad mask, but it was mostly him under there.
Are you guys like backdoor piloting a podcast about Final Destination?
No, this is Front Door Pilot. If you could leave, that'd be great. Front Door's right there.
All right, I'll go.
So the newest movie is going into the far past.
You were recommending a movie, and it was the newest one.
I basically did the whole series. This is number 6.
Oh, wow.
So this is going far into the past and into the 60s.
I thought it was Cowboy Times,
like,
maybe.
Basically saying, they could. That's the thing. The producer
I want to
was
see
like,
Cowboy Final Destination. Final Destination, partner.
I feel like Seth MacFarlane, 100 Different Ways to Die in the West. Did that have anything to do with actually dying?
I didn't see it.
I have no idea.
I was over him at that point.
Yeah.
Same.
No, the producer said basically you could have Final Destination in space or in the Old West.
Yeah, I
which
would watch both
sounds
of those.
great. But it starts in the 60s, and then that's the reverberation of that, because so many people were supposed to die during this accident. It took it a long time to get to everyone, so everyone had families, and so it just kept going down and down.
So it has to eliminate the bloodline.
Yes, and so everyone we've seen in all the other movies were part of that bloodline, all the different families, and so that's the whole thing.
That's interesting.
That sounds great. I like that they're adding a new twist, because that was what I liked about 5, is that it felt like it was the first time they added a twist to it, kind of. A successful twist.
Yes, and they don't abandon it either.
Okay.
I really want to see Final Destination versus Alien versus Jason versus Predator. I think that would be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just basically the normal Freddy versus Jason, except more Looney Tunes.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
They're just dying.
Can I ask an important question?
Yes,
Is Tony Todd in it?
he is. It is, and the sad part of it, because he knew he was dying at that point.
Yeah.
He kind of like faces the audience and just like says goodbye, and so it's just like,
Oh.
oh god.
Oh, that's a gut punch I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect from Final Destination 6.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's very.
Is he in every single one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. If he's not in it, he has a voice.
Yeah,
in
he
it.
does a voice in 3, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's
And
something
then-
weird. Oh, I think it was in
Or
4.
is it 4?
It's 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a voice in 4, but he's in the other ones.
Yeah. And, it's kind of, you're like, oh, is he death? Is that the whole thing? And you get more of a concrete answer in this one.
Oh, cool.
But
Jack and I were just talking about that. We were just wondering.
it's one of those, though, where it's rare for one of these where it's long in the series where it's kind of a schlocky series of horror movies. Like, she's not really supposed to be taken seriously,
Yeah.
but when you can have a movie where you care about the characters, because it spends a pretty good amount of time getting to know these characters. So when they do start inevitably dying, you actually are invested in that. And you're like, oh, maybe they'll get out. Nope. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Which I can't say for 4. I wanted them all to just die instantly.
Yeah, Jack and I were both just like, I don't care about any of them.
Yeah. No.
And like I wasn't even I'll keep 1, 2, and 5, and then I'm guessing I'll keep 6, but I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
What
But
a
Mary
goof.
Elizabeth Winstead.
I know.
You can't.
She broke up a marriage and I get it. Ewan McGregor.
I know.
I get it, my
I
man.
get it.
Not paying attention.
Yeah, that's okay. Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh, sure. She's a person, I guess.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor broke up his marriage for her.
Oh, okay.
So we were doing a bit like,
Oh, yeah.
I get
I
it.
was sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't
we
asking.
were being men.
Yeah, I
We're
wasn't
being
talking
men.
about
sure.
a hot babe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was hoping you'd gloss over it and then you wouldn't explain it, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, we explained it in more detail
Yeah.
than the original bit needed or
Right.
deserved.
All right, Phil, what do you have?
I watched a movie.
Oh, no way.
It's called Speed Racer. Wait, no,
No,
Yeah.
I think we.
that's
quite there.
later.
Let's pump the brakes.
It's called The Gates.
The Gates.
And
It
that's
is
Gates.
Gates.
The gate is a different one.
Yeah. Because I had texted you and you
Yeah,
were
and I
like,
got really excited, and then I'm like, oh, never mind.
not that one. It has. Is it John Rhys Davies or Rhys Davies?
Mm.
I think it's Reese.
Okay, it's got that guy in it. It's also got Richard Brake, who I'm finding out I just love. He played the Night King in Game of Thrones. Doesn't really get a lot of voice credit in that because there's not a whole lot of voice to that character, but he's got a great spooky, creepy voice, and he has a great spooky, creepy vibe. So anytime I see him in something, I'm just happy about it. But it's got that. So
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, he was in Barbarian.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. So the plot of the movie is it's a period piece. We're in England back in the period day. Well, you're looking at me weird.
What did you say?
Back in the period day. It's a period piece.
Okay, just I've never heard it put that way.
Well, we always say period piece, and we know exactly what time frame we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the period time.
Just okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just
Sure.
you seemed confused. I thought I'd explain it.
Yeah.
So
did a
we're
great
in
job.
we're in that time, and this English prison is like, oh, we're gonna import an electric chair from the United States, and we're gonna use that to execute our prisoners instead of hanging. And the first prisoner they execute is Richard Brake's character, who is this like crazy serial killer. He killed 28 people, and the cops caught him in the middle of killing his 28th. And he was like trying to resurrect his dead wife.
And it
So
would
he's
only
like,
happen if he killed 28 people?
yes, that was part of it. That's why it's called 28 Days Later. But he
So
they-
that's why.
they catch him, but he's like a practitioner of the dark arts. He's a magic man, kind of. So they go to execute him. He's the first prisoner executed in the chair. It goes poorly. They fry him for too long, and they're like, "Oh, is he dead?" And they turn it off, and then he's like smoking, and then he like starts to move, and they're like, "Oh God, fry him again!" And then they do it again. It's like dark and gross and creepy, and then he dies, and then the rest of the movie you're following John Rhys Davies and his niece, who are corpse photographers, which is a very real thing that they used to do.
Yes.
Not just in prisons.
Yeah.
They do it with like just like a child who died, or
But
like a
no,
person
there's tons
who
of
died.
photos of like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where like everyone in the
Very
photo is
creepy.
alive except for one
One
person
person in the
because
middle.
they did because photos were super expensive, and they were like, well,
Yeah.
let's get this to remember.
yeah.
So like I get it. It's also incredibly creepy and weird, but whatever. Anyways, so they come to take pictures of him, and then the niece sees in one of the photos it looks like his face moved.
Mm.
And then it's a whole thing, and the rest of the movie is essentially Richard Brake's character haunting the prison.
So Richard Brake's character in the movie?
Yeah, I
The
just don't
serial
remember his
killer.
name, the serial killer.
So let me get this straight.
Oh.
He Brake's character.
God. Oh, I'm embarrassed that I did not get that. I'm so
He bra-
sorry.
he's-
Richard breaks character.
He breaks
Yeah,
character.
Brake's character.
He breaks
Oh my
character.
god.
I
He
could
looks
have
at the camera
what
and
I could have done was like made a joke out of it instead of just said it again. Then that might have been easier for you to understand what I was getting at. Never mind.
we got there. But there's also a whole thing in the movie where like John Rhys Davies' character is like an inventor, and then there is another guy who is part of like a society for paranormal research, and he's trying to use like old timey folk magic to help catch the serial killer ghost, and John Rhys Davies is trying to use like newfangled technology, and so there's like something there. It's not an amazing movie. I will start there, but it is a really cool idea and a really cool like time period, really cool like Richard Brake is real freaky and good at being creepy guy.
So the lesson here is if you like executioners know that if you electrocute someone long enough, it turns them into a vengeful spirit.
Yes, because ghosts are energy, and electricity is also energy.
So naturally, that's how it works.
Yes. So in
Makes
case
sense.
anybody is listening, if you zap someone long enough, they become a ghost.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Don't do it. I'm just putting the information out there. I'm just asking the questions. So that's a movie that was good. Will,
Yeah.
in your wallet,
Uh-huh.
is there something?
No, there sure is.
Would you tell me?
Yeah, I will.
Would you tell me a story about it?
So, guys, it's a Kingdom Hearts game.
Oh, cool.
Who'd have thunk it?
I'm playing the Kingdom Hearts game, and it's
Is it Birth by Rebirth 3/64.5?
Yeah, that's what the remaster of it is called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They shortened it actually at the remaster, so it's just called Birth by Sleep now.
Oh, okay.
And
That's rolls off the tongue a little better, I guess.
Yeah, and if you're like, oh, Birth by Sleep, surely they'll explain what that means in the game. The answer to that would be no, they don't. And it doesn't make any sense that that's the title of it.
Well, isn't the birth by sleep is the birth of Roxas because he gets put to sleep?
Nope.
Isn't Birth by
nope,
Sleep?
it's not. So, Craig, I think I know why you might be confused.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's got to be
You-
like a Nine Inch Nails
Because you've
album.
probably seen the cover. So, Birth by Sleep is the prequel game that was on the PSP.
Oh,
PSP.
There it is. And it takes place like 5 years or 6 years or whatever years before the first Kingdom Hearts, right? And the gameplay is split up by 3 characters. You either play as Terra, Aqua, or Ventus. And if you look at the game art, you might go, wait a minute. If you played the Kingdom Hearts 2, you'd be like, that looks a lot like Roxas.
Yeah.
but it isn't. It's a completely different character who looks exactly like Roxas, and it's explained in the game in a way that is not understandable.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, no.
That's
I mean,
weird.
The thing is, the problem with Kingdom Hearts is that is that when you try to explain it, you're like, this is what happens, and then someone says, what does that mean? And you go, well, I don't know. Because the game does not explain why at any point. It just essentially is like, all right, so this person was dying and then they touched someone else's heart across this place, and now that person is inside their heart, and when they die, they don't die actually, they become that other person. And you're just sort of like, okay, but like, why does it happen that way? And there's no answer to that.
You guys will be in my heart.
Yeah. But the game is interesting, and I'm going to talk just this. The story is kind of dumb. But the game is fun because it's like the first Kingdom Hearts like spin-off game that like had new worlds. So they're like classic Disney worlds. So you go to like Sleeping Beauty, you go to the dwarfs, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and then you go to Cinderella, like, which is kind of neat because you see all those characters later on in Kingdom Hearts, but you don't go to their worlds.
Yeah.
So it's fun. The way they tell the story, I think, is kind of it doesn't really work because like you have to start a game as Aqua. You have to choose one of them to start the game as, and then you play the entire game, and it's much more abridged than Kingdom Hearts. So like the world levels feel very short. And then when you finish the game, you then play as the other character back at level 1. And it kind of just feels like, even though it's only like maybe 6 or 8 hours to get to the end of the game, you're just like, I got to do it again. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't, it's like they didn't like, to me, I would recommend if anyone's going to play it, and I know no one is, where you just like, you start a new game as one of the characters, you play like 2 or 3 worlds, put it down, and then start a new game as the second character. You know what I mean? As a second character. Because then it's like, then you're just like, you're only replaying the beginning, which you just saw. And because you know what I mean? Like you can just sort of like play it forward that way. It also like the gameplay in it is interesting because like it introduced the shot lock command, which is like, when you like see bad guys, you pull down a button, you just like lock on a bunch of them all at once. Like you're like a fighter pilot, and then you go flying and like kill them all. So it's very fun to do that. And it introduced like, and it's the most Final Fantasy of all the games because it like, you have like Sora just has all the magic all the time, you know? But in this one, you like have actual moves that do different things. You get like Mega Flare as an ability, and like, yeah, I don't know. It definitely, if you like see all the lists of like the best Kingdom Hearts games, Birth by Sleep is always like snucked in there as one of the better ones. Like I think it was originally supposed to be on the PlayStation 2 as like a full game, but the PlayStation 2 was losing sales and stuff, and so they ported it over. And basically that's what the PSP was. The PSP was as powerful as a PS2 because they had those little discs things. Remember those things?
I never had one. I always wanted one because all the like so many people in our like group of friends in high school had them, and I felt left out.
Yeah,
I felt poor more than anything.
Well, I bought one with my own money.
I'm proud of you.
Well, it was because it was at the end of the PSP's life, and I was in college, so I had a job.
I'm still proud of you.
Yeah, and basically I bought it for 2 games. I bought it for Birth by Sleep, and then they also came out with a Final Fantasy VII prequel game about Zack Fair, if anyone knows. Zack is... That doesn't matter. He's
I thought maybe it was Dirge of Cerberus.
No, it wasn't. No. I did buy that on the PS2. That was a fun game.
I had a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah. But no, what's interesting is in Kingdom Hearts, you go to Hercules Land and you meet Cloud there. And in Birth by Sleep, you go to Hercules Land and Hercules is a kid and you meet Zack there, which is kind of fun because he's in the prequel and you're playing a prequel. So you see Zack in the prequel.
I like that.
How like
Consistency,
Yes, I don't know.
continuity.
because with all the other Kingdom Hearts mainline ones, most of the places you're going to are pretty dynamically different.
Yeah.
You know, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Cinderella, those are all kind of
Oh, they're like that.
very samey.
Yes, they're very samey. I actually a lot of the times would be like, oh, I want to go back to this one area because I think I missed a treasure chest, and I'm picturing it in my mind's eye, and I'm like, I have no idea which one of the worlds this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea which one to get to. You do later. You go to other places. You go to Disney Town as well. Like I don't know, it's dumb, but whatever. And you do go to you go to Neverland and the Hercules Coliseum. So but yeah, no, the first three places you go to, are it's very samey, and it's even more confusing because each one of the characters goes to each one in a different order. So when you're replaying it, you're like, which one? The only one that is cool is when you play as Ventus. He is the size of the mice. So when you play in Cinderella's world, you're really small. I don't know why they didn't do that for all the other all the other characters. They're not, but
Do you think
that is fun?
Do you think Hercules ever gets upset that when he's in Kingdom Hearts, it's only the Colosseum?
It's not though.
They have the underworld,
They have the underworld,
and they have,
and then in the third one,
they go to
Yeah.
I was going off of my bad memory.
so every Kingdom Hearts game has the Hercules world in it, which is really fun. So when there's a moment in the very first, in Kingdom Hearts 3, I think it's the only world you return to that's not one of the that you return to that is a Disney world. You go to Olympus Coliseum first to see Hercules, and you
kill
get
him.
well. You don't even go to the Coliseum. You just go through all of, I think it's Athens or whatever.
Oh, that's
Thebes.
cool.
Oh,
Something like
Thebes.
that.
Yeah, it's Thebes, and it is like that. When people were like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is not great, I was like, I guess it's not great. I'm not super excited to play it. And then I played that part where you get to go through all of Thebes, and I was like, everyone who said this game is bad is an idiot. And I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. And then I played a little bit more and went, no, never mind.
Yeah.
But that first part is super fun.
Is there, I know everyone has their own opinion on this, but is there a specific world you wish they would put, hypothetically, in 4?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly. See, I like it when they return. So what was kind of interesting about oh God, I can't believe I'm talking about this still. But what's interesting about Kingdom Hearts 2 was that every single world you went to, you already kind of went to, even the ones you hadn't been to before. You go to Beast Castle in Kingdom Hearts 2, but you met Beast in Kingdom Hearts 1, even though you've never been there before. You go to Mulan, Land of Dragons. Mushu was a summon. You go to, you know what I mean? So it had these fun connective sort of tissues that made it feel like it was connected to the previous game. And that's all I want. You know what I mean? I don't specifically want a certain place. Obviously it's fun to have new places, but it's fun to return to these worlds. You know what I mean? See what people are up to. And that's why Kingdom Hearts 3 was kind of it was all brand new worlds, all Pixar-y stuff. And it was just sort of
Escape to Witch Mountain.
I want to see my old friends,
But the one with the rock.
The one with the rock, yeah.
And I want it like Pirates of the Caribbean style, where it's realistic looking, and I want the rock to voice every character.
I want only films from the 2000s.
Yeah.
And so it's Emperor's New Groove,
Ooh.
Chicken Little.
Oh, you know what? I do have an answer. The one that I really wanted them to go to is Atlantis.
Yeah.
See, that's the real, that or Treasure Planet are my real answers.
Yes.
But I still think Home on the Range would be a great Western themed.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
the screwball ones. You know what I mean? I like the weird ones that don't fit. I also like when they throw in the hyper realistic ones, like the Pirates of the Caribbean or even Tron,
Yeah. I love Tron.
Yeah, and you go to Tron Legacy and Dream Drop Distance, and it's just funny to see, Jeff Bridges is in this Kingdom Hearts game. Anyways, so that's my recommendation.
If you've made it to the end,
if you made it,
Yeah.
if you're still listening, why? Why are you listening?
if you're still listening, you should probably be on this podcast
Yeah,
because
really.
it's one of us.
Yes. Speaking of
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, cars drive over bridges, and we watched a movie about driving. We watched Speed Racer. Speed Racer is somewhere hidden in my notes. Oh, there it is.
A movie.
Speed Racer is a 2008 sports action comedy film written and directed by the Wachowskis. It's starring Emile Hirsch, Christina Ricci, John Goodman, Susan Sarandon, and a few others. Matthew Fox. It had a $120 million budget, but it only made $94 million.
Oof.
It's 135 minutes long, which is too long. Too long for this movie.
Yeah.
How do you think this movie is doing on Rotten Tomatoes, Craig?
I mean, it's hard because I think this got absolutely trashed when it came out.
Yep.
But I think people have softened on it quite a bit. But I'll still put it at like 54%.
What about you, Phil?
I'm gonna say 61.
Craig's got it 42
Ooh, 42.
I should have gone the
Worse
other
than I
way.
thought.
for the audio. That's the critic score, and the audience score is 60. So you're closer there.
Okay.
All right, Craig, you picked this movie. Why?
So I've heard for a long time that this was a secretly good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like people had,
And I'd love to be a part of that secret.
I know. Well, here's the thing: is like everyone wants to find that diamond in the rough.
Yes.
The one that everyone missed, everyone wrote off, or it was ahead of its time, and
Et cetera, et cetera.
Yep, exactly. And even just a few years after it came out, for a couple years I religiously watched the YouTube channel Game Grumps, and Aaron on there just always talked about how much he loved Speed Racer, and everyone was dumb because they had all written it off, but it was the greatest movie ever made. And I was like, haha, that's funny, Aaron. And I didn't really take it seriously.
Because
And-
that's impossible.
Because it's impossible. But then over time, over the years, I kept hearing more and more people say, no, it actually is unironically good. And one of the YouTube channels I watch, Patrick H. Willems, had a whole video about
He had been talking about Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Like I saw the video you're talking about, but like, and then
Yeah.
I was watching an old one where he brought up Speed Racer again, and then I watched a different older one, and he also brought up Speed Racer.
Yeah,
So
brings
he's
it
been
up a
bringing
lot.
it up for like years.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and I'm like, oh, I really should watch this. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like the kind of movie I should watch by myself. I need people with me to help me through this, what could potentially be a bad trip.
Yeah.
And, John Goodman connects to most things. And so this was a very easy one to get to
yes, from the Flintstones.
from the Flintstones, playing a very different character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the reason I picked it. I had no prior
Still with
experience
so
with it.
much more like gravitas than you
Oh,
would
man.
expect or
Yeah.
or need.
or need.
It's the same with
Yeah.
the Flintstones. It's like, what is this?
John, you're given
so
100%.
at
I
least-
need a little,
need
like,
75.
way
At
less.
least in the Flintstones, he like, you could tell he understood that he was in a cartoon.
Yeah.
Do you know
This
what I
one,
mean?
he just gave it his
No,
all.
no,
he Michael Cained it with
Yeah.
the Muppets.
Everyone,
Yeah.
everyone. Well, honestly, all the actors are taking this movie deadly
Yeah.
seriously, except for the boy and his monkey.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Phil, was this the first time you saw this movie?
This was.
Oh wow, I'm surprised to hear that. How'd you feel about this movie?
Okay, I don't know how to take that. Is it an insult? Is it a compliment? Is it? I don't know. I had written this movie off.
Uh-huh.
It came out. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't need this in my life. There's too many bright colors. This is 2008. I need like desaturated grit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote this movie off. I never even was
so
interested.
This movie was, I think, sandwiched between like the other big IP movies was The Dark Knight and Iron Man, which Iron Man is not nearly as dark, but it's very much grounded in reality.
Yeah. This was so different that I was just like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
So Jeff Bridges, yeah, we got there. And then I too had heard that this was a secretly good movie.
Yeah.
But I will say I only heard that from Craig, I think. And then the internet, because it listened to that conversation with Craig, started telling me that I should watch Speed Racer. And I was like, I'm going to in like a week. Shut up. And then we watched it. And my initial reaction was, what? But then I kind of just digested it and I was like, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the more we go through this, the more my rating system is just, did I have fun or like, did I enjoy it? Which is what it should be. It's a personal rating system. I'm not trying to get objective with like, I'm not Jeff Ebert.
Right.
That's not his name. Glenn? Roger. He's
Yes.
Roger.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy? Carl?
Alphonse.
Ebert? Siskel. Gene.
Siskel. Gene
Got there.
Siskel.
Got there. Robert is close. Okay. I'm not trying to be, a fancy movie critic, man. I just had fun watching this. It's ridiculous, but everyone takes it so seriously that I kind of just also took it seriously at some parts, not at every part, but at some parts, and it's exciting, and it's bright, flashy colors, and I'm trying to invite a little bit more whimsy into my life,
Mhm.
and I feel like watching this movie was a lot of whimsy into my life. It filled my whimsy meter up.
Yeah, it's very much a movie for millennials, strangely, because it's a very earnest.
Yeah, because it's the cringiest thing you'd ever
Yes,
seen.
exactly. And nobody from Gen Z would ever watch this movie and see it the same way that any of us would, because
We're special.
We're very
We're
special.
the special generation.
Yeah.
Well, I am desperate to hear everything that's about to come out of your mouth.
Okay, so we kind of discovered while watching it that I was sort of the only one of us who like grew up with Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, you like something happened." I'm like, "Well, that's lifted directly from the show." I'm like, "Did you guys not watch the show? You didn't like get drunk in college and watch episodes of Speed Racer while eating ramen to make sure you don't get a hangover the next day? You didn't do that?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, just me? Okay." But so as we were watching it, I was like going like, wow, this is another one where it's like I file it in like the Flintstones more so than the Scooby-Doos of movie adaptations as far as like being faithful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I found myself going like, man, I want to watch a bunch of old Speed Racer, which I don't think is like a great feeling, like when you're watching something else to be like, I want to go watch something else now. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather be watching something else,
Fair.
But I do feel like this, whereas like the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo, they like tried to like go towards grounded reality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what this movie did instead was like just fly up into the stratosphere and take everything that the cartoon did and like do it times like 10,000. Like it was way more like spastic and energetic. Like if you've seen the old cartoon, like the thing that the underlying like sort of theme of the animation and everything is just cheap.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a really cheap show that they then, dubbed over to English as cheaply as possible, And I kind of feel like the interesting thing about that is that none of that was like, that wasn't supposed to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like all the like, it wasn't they didn't sit around and go like, let's make something kind of crap.
Yeah.
You know, let's make something kind of crap today. They went like, let's make a good show for kids, you know, and then they just didn't have the money to do it right.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, I feel weird about it because like, I feel like this movie like sort of like was like, hey, let's take this and like just like pull on it really hard in this one direction. And I sort of like lament, I'm like, I kind of wanted to see more of a gritty Speed Racer. Like, I feel like of all the things, like I've never been the guy to be like, I want this to be less cartoony, but like this is
I don't know if that would work.
This
though.
is buck wild to hear.
Yeah, seriously.
But it doesn't. It's just
you can't.
It's so ugly.
No, you can't do the corny parts of the show. You can't have that translate well.
Yeah, but that's not supposed to be corny. You know what I mean? Like they didn't go like, we're supposed to be corny now. They went, this is supposed to be funny. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is like, it would be cool if someone could take the vision of Speed Racer, see where it was supposed to be, what it was supposed to be, what they were trying to make, and make that, as opposed to like, I don't know if I'm making my point here.
What if they feel like this is what they were trying to make?
Maybe it is. But I also don't want to watch that because I didn't want to watch this. This movie was an assault on the eyes, and it's like,
yeah, the transitions alone.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's just like,
listen. Spoiler alert: if you have epilepsy and you watch this movie, you have double epilepsy.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I appreciate a lot of what they were doing. You know, I just feel like it was taken too far a lot of the times. Like, it was just like.
You could have taken it down like 10%.
And it wasn't like, and the thing is like, I like movies that have a very stylistic feel to them. Like the other movies that I enjoy from this era made almost the exact same way is Sin City. You know, Sin City looks like a comic book and it looks really cool. You know, it looks like splash pages and things.
But it's gritty.
Well, it doesn't matter that it's gritty necessarily. But
Will's gonna fight you.
I'm gonna fight Craig. No,
he's gonna race you.
Well, no. What am I trying to say? All I'm saying,
don't know.
Race, then we
no
get out of
idea.
the cars and fight, and then race again.
Yes.
Which again happens in almost every episode of the anime.
Whenever you're done making your little point.
Yeah. What point am I? I lost it. Well, all I'm saying is that like. I didn't know what aesthetic they were going for. Do you know what I mean? Like they weren't saying like we're trying to make this look like a comic book. I don't even think they were saying they were trying to make this look like the anime. Because while a lot of what they were doing like is based off of the anime, it didn't look like the anime. It looks like Spy Kids. It looks like Roly Poly Oly. Do you know what I mean?
It looked like Spy Kids and Roly Poly Oly.
It looked weird. It looked like a what's the word? Like a screensaver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then they shot stuff outside that was supposed to be outside, but it was a composite shot. So it was like a Windows 95 background with like plants and I'm like, why are we doing this? Go outside and shoot this, and you can make it look cartoony just outside. Do you know what I mean? Like,
They did this practical with like the Grinch movie, or any of those Dr. Seuss movies.
Yeah, and we can make it look cartoony, and it'll look good, and it'll look like it has a sense of art and style. But instead, we got like I was like, this is I hate this. I hate the way this looks. Like. And I got like, so if you go and listen to Patrick H. Willems, like talk about it and how it's like ahead of its time, I don't know what he's talking about in terms of like saying this movie was ahead of its time, because I like movies don't look like this now. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get the idea of doing composite shots and stuff, but like,
I mean, all the Spy Kids franchise.
Yeah, but that's not new. I was excited to see this as well because I had heard the same things that like this movie is like was slept on, you know? And I was like, oh, wow, that's incredible. Who knew the Speed Racer movie's great? I'm like, again, fan of Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Let's watch this. And I like watched it. I'm like, I hate this. I don't hate it. That's not right. But I definitely was Yeah.
So I'll give my actual opinion because I just kind of talked about why I picked
that's
this.
true.
So I agree with all the visual stuff.
Yeah.
The tonal shifts are like shifting gears because there's the part where he is being where Speed is being berated by the evil CEO guy,
anti-capitalist or no pro-capitalist guy.
Yeah, who's just telling him he's naive and for not taking the deal, and it's a very serious part of the movie, and then it's intercut with Chim
Spritel
Chim
and Chim Chim.
Yeah,
like in this madcap, like sort of like Mr. Bean level stupidity.
Yeah.
Like with but they're like on a green screen flying impossibly in a way that's like not fun. Like in the perspectives are wrong.
Yeah.
Through the hallways of this totally fabricated through a computer. What was it? Laboratory, I guess. And he's like dancing and singing to like Freebird.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The Freebird part. So
what are we doing? What is this?
But I have to ask this question: is this movie for kids?
I have no idea. I've no idea.
Oh yeah, I have no idea who this is
a movie
for.
designed. This was a movie for kids, designed by people who have never met a child. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're like, this is what kids would like, I guess. But also, we're gonna keep it very adult in the theming. Like,
yeah, okay. I do have a quick question for you for the OG show.
Okay.
Or I guess the American dub, whatever. Was the racing like F-Zero in the show?
No.
On like loops and like upside downs?
No. It was always some. When he does the circuit with like the other racer and it's like a team of racers and they like stop him. That's every episode was always like, it was never like, we're going to go around on a circuit, like around and around. It was always like, we're doing some weird cross country driving through the Sahara. We're driving through the jungle, sort of thing. It was always cross country. Oh, and then there was always a mountain. You know what I mean? Like, and he always fell off the side of the mountain and then, and jumped back up. So it was always, it was like, I think they called it a rally in the movie. It's like, it was always like rally like, yeah.
Okay.
At least I haven't I am the resident speed racer expert because no one else showed up.
Any of it. Yeah. Oh shoot, I had a second point.
Oh.
It probably wasn't very good.
I like the story though.
Oh, same.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Here's what I was
I'll put
gonna
that
say.
out there.
I think in my mind when watching this, I shut my brain off and shut my eyes off during any scene with Spritel.
Yeah.
And then open them back up when he was off screen.
Yes.
And the movie's good.
Yeah.
I feel like without that.
Yeah, that's
like the story is good. Like the story's fun.
And the racing is fun too.
Good, and the racing is
the racing,
fun.
like wacky races.
Yeah, the wacky racing fun is fun. That part is fun. But it's again like it's so dizzying all the time because of all these like composite shots and people like their floating heads going by, which actually I did kind of like those transitions when people's like we'll be talking. So it would be like a shot of someone on a racetrack, speed racer racing, and then someone's like, I guess
the
bust.
announcers,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like would come onto screen and they'd be like talking like speed's coming down the track, and then it would like transition to something else. And like I liked when they did that the first 3 times. By time 6,000, I was like, okay, like can we like do it a different way? Can we try another trick?
I think part of the reason that people are nostalgic for this movie is because
they watched it when they were children.
Well, besides that.
Oh, okay.
And not all like this movie came out for like,
I mean, for millennials, you'd be an old child.
You'd be in college.
Yeah.
But oh shit, now I lost it.
What was this? 2008?
Yeah, 2007 or 2008.
Yeah, we would have been seniors, so that would have been older for us to be super
I was in
into
college
it.
by then. Oh, man, I lost my point.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry.
Rude.
What did I say before?
I
that?
wanted to be the only one who got to talk, so that's why.
Oh, so it's a normal episode.
Yeah, shut
Yeah.
up.
They're nostalgic for this kind of movie because it's not a movie that is made anymore, because it is such a big swing, big blank check movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that
And
is true.
It is just
Absolutely.
not
Yeah.
done. You don't do this. This would have never made it out of.
Yeah, this isn't a movie. I guess. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like from that perspective, it's like this movie, in my opinion, isn't a crime. You know, like I
Mhm.
don't like it, or not really. I really found the aesthetics to be distasteful. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. Like we don't see these types of movies where big swings like that.
Yeah. Where, like, I don't know. There's too many movies where absolutely nobody would ever say this is their, like, no one's saying this is my favorite movie. Like, the new Marvel is my favorite. Or the new
Well, I don't know.
generic slop that's coming out. Well, I'm just, like, you know, maybe the Marvels from 10 years ago, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
none
I
of
guess-
them now.
Yeah, Endgame. How long ago was Endgame? I don't know.
2019?
2019.
So I guess that's
yeah.
6 years
So
ago.
I think. Well, I was saying. Oh, sorry, Phil, your mic was off.
I really like Morbius. That's my favorite movie.
Okay,
Okay.
unmute him again,
Yeah,
please.
that wasn't worth it. That didn't need to be said.
No, it's just what the low risk movies is, because you can see why some people like Speed Racer at the
Yeah,
time, because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
contrary. Like, everyone hates this, so I'm gonna like this.
Yeah. There is
and
a
there are so
contrarian.
many movies. You know,
What-
Caitlin and I grew up liking movies that were like Nothing But Trouble or
Yes, just throw mom from the train. or
Throw
whatever.
Mama from the Train.
Yeah, just
And
like
they're
bananas.
just weird movies that nobody actually likes, but we just for some reason caught it at the right time.
One of my favorite movies growing up was The Mask, and I have no idea if that's actually a good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen it in years, but like it will always be one of my favorite like sort of movies, quote. You know, but
All those movies took swings. They are very odd.
yeah.
There's something weird about them, and you don't get that with even the middling movies. They're not
Yeah.
worth remembering.
No,
same
I mean
way.
there is making movies being the Hollywood has always been risk averse, and it's just gotten worse. That was a
way
weird
worse.
little
Yeah.
rhyme. But yeah, no. So to that end, I do sort of like, I'm like, yeah, like I do sort of want to like encourage this
Like,
movie in a way.
That's
You know
why
what I mean?
want to watch Francis Ford Coppola's new movie. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to, like, that is
Megalocalypse.
the biggest of all.
Yeah, of this big swing, you know.
Yeah.
But I just if I was like taking this movie, like I wanted to, within the context of like what you're talking about, be like, yeah, I liked this movie because I like to see people try new things.
Yeah.
And I was, while we were watching it, I was like trying to like get my head there, and I was like, I'm like, I'd be lying.
Yeah. And let's say,
Because-
like, if you don't support this film, you don't like you
Yeah.
don't support film at
Because like,
all.
don't get me wrong, like I feel like the story in this movie is good.
Yep.
Like it tells a good story. It has a good moral. The acting in it, I think, is top notch.
Yep.
You know, but it just, to me, like it feels like a really direct interpretation of Speed Racer too. So like it even does that thing, but it's just the visuals. It just too much for me. I just didn't. I didn't like anything of it. I like, to me, usually what I like about like when I really like a movie is when it like inspires me, you know, because like I'm a videographer. And so like when I watch a movie that makes me go like, God, I want to go out and grab my camera and do fun stuff. You know what I mean? Like make cool things. I want to make something that looks like this. When I watch Speed Racer, I go, I would be so embarrassed if my movie looked anything like this. You know? So like I was like, that's honestly how I felt about it. So I was like, I can't say I liked this.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about is the story
Yeah,
itself. What is the story?
Yes. What is this story?
Well, so the story is it's the story of Speed Racer in general is like Speed is a he's got a race car called the Mach 5. He does races all around. He works with his dad. What is his name is like it's like Papa Racer, I think.
Papa Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
It is like Pa Racer or something like that. And their mechanic Sparky. And then he's got a little brother who has a monkey friend. Spritle is the little brother and Chim Chim is the monkey. But
it's just Papa Racer and Mom Racer.
Yep. Anyways, and so like, but the backstory is that like years ago, his brother used to be his brother Rex, right?
Yeah.
His brother Rex used to be a racer, and then he died in a horrific crash. And then in the show, every single time they'd be like, but unbeknownst to Speed, Racer X is secretly, like, there's a mysterious Racer X who's here too. That is mysteriously his brother who died, Rex. You know, it's like, even Racer X sounds exactly like Rex. Like, come on, Speed.
Yeah.
Speed, I don't think ever put it together in the anime. I don't think he ever figured it out.
Speed.
And there's also Trixie, which I was kind of disappointed about their relationship.
There's also Trixie.
Trixie is his girlfriend, and the thing that I find hilarious about watching old Speed Racers is how much of a dick he is to Trixie. Like, he is just an ass to her all the time. She's like, Speed, I want you to give me a kiss. And he'd be like, shut up, Trixie, I'm concentrating. And it's just like, oh my God.
I sent you the compilation.
Yeah,
it's just him being an asshole.
It's so funny. And that's actually, I feel like I also kind of missed that in this movie. Like, Speed Racer's too nice of a guy.
Yeah, you miss the misogyny.
Yeah, well, there's also like a weird trope, and you see this in a lot of anime, where people like, well, because Japan has such like a great, like such a problematic work culture, their character trait is that they just love doing the thing that they do, and they will, and like they don't care about distractions at all. You know, like, so like the idea of like in this movie they Americanized him, where it's like, I love what I do. It's my special thing because my family is involved.
Yeah.
In the anime, he's like, no, I love doing this. Family be damned.
Yeah. Family gets in the way.
Yeah.
Girlfriend gets in the way.
Gets in the way. So like, because like Goku's kind of like that. Goku's like, I'm going to let this, I know we're fighting this super villain, but I think he's like holding back a little bit. So I'm going to let him power up to his main power because I just love fighting so much. Oops, the planet blew up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the I keep seeing it online, the bit that like Goku is on the autism spectrum and his special interest is fighting.
Yes.
And Speed Racer like on the autism spectrum and his special interest is racing cars.
Yeah, racing cars. But so anyway, so the story is Speed is getting a lot of attention, and he's going to be like, so he's being courted by a lot of different, like, I guess, sponsors. And one of the people who court him is like, what is his name? Like Rich Man McGee.
Rich Evil.
Something like that.
Yeah. Rich Evil guy. And he's like, Speed, we'd love you to be a part of our team. And Speed's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to, because reasons I can't quite remember.
I love racing with my family. And I love racing.
Yeah, I love racing and I love racing with my family. And then he's like, you know what? And then the evil guy is basically does this whole thing.
Royalton. Yeah,
Royalton is like, racing is rigged. It's all predetermined. It's all about stocks and money and shareholders. And it's sort of like, oh, cool. So they sort of saw the future a little bit here with this. So he does this whole spiel, and he's like, and you're never going to race again, basically. And so Speed Racer kind of gets like blacklisted because of this. So he can't race. And then through some convoluted plot, he finds out he is able to get a shot at the Grand Prix if he does this sort of like backyard racing, which is the exact same type of racing that Rex did right before Rex died, or that killed him, actually.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Isn't this the plot to Cars 3?
Yes, this is exactly the plot to Cars 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's interesting.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have the like mentor character, the protege that Cars 3 has. Whatever her name is. Rosa?
I
Cruz is her name.
Ramirez.
Cruz Ramirez. My kids love this stuff.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cars 1, pretty okay. Cars 2, absolutely terrible.
Awful.
Cars 3, not a bad movie.
Not bad.
That's
Not
what
bad
I've
at all.
heard.
Yeah, not a bad
That's
movie.
what I've heard
Yeah.
from you guys.
Yeah.
Though I do believe
Okay.
Cars on the Road is the best version
Oh,
of Cars.
it's so great.
It's the best one because it is all just car jokes, like car puns,
Okay, I like
which
that.
is like, it's like, yeah, just lean into. That's all this is.
Cars go to a haunted house.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What would that look like? Oh, that's fun.
okay.
And it's over. And it's
It's
over
over.
now. It
Yeah.
started and now it's over.
I like that.
Anyways, so he does the race thing, this extra race. He beats a bunch of people up. I don't even remember what that was about because they're trying to sabotage him the whole
Yeah.
time, right? Because they're all being paid by Royal to stop him. They don't stop him. He wins, but the guy he was doing it with, the Korean racer, betrays him.
Was lying.
He was lying the whole time and just took the payout. But because Racer was on the team, Speed was on the team, he was able to get a ticket because he actually had to have a ticket, like a physical ticket. So then he got to go to the Grand Prix and everyone's like, you're not supposed to be here. And the
He's
Mach
like-
5 disappeared for some reason.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to do the Mach 6.
Yeah, they did the Mach 6. They're like, we need to build a car in a day. And I'm like, where's the Mach 5? How is this movie 2
didn't
hours long
explode.
and there's a plot hole? I don't
Yeah.
understand.
There's a guy named Inspector Detector.
Yeah, Inspector Detector detected suspicions. Suspected or something.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like a great line. But yeah, and so then he does the race and he wins. And that's the movie. And
And then everyone, like, the Royalton goes to jail.
yeah.
Everything is tied up like a Speed Racer episode.
Yeah, like a speeder.
Except, well, I mean, I guess tied up like a Speed Racer episode. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, it's not tied up that Racer X is
Okay,
Rex. 'cause
honestly,
he has a
that is my least favorite part.
So, yes. So if you're at all aware of Speed Racer, you know that Racer X is his brother because they tell you every single episode. But this movie doesn't do that, right? So Rex, we see a flashback of Rex dying, but then we meet Racer X. And I was going like, that is his brother. Everyone knows this. And then I looked at the actor and I'm like, that's a different actor though.
Yeah.
That's Jack from Lost.
Yeah, that's a different guy. And then Speed, being way smarter than Speed is in the anime, is like, I'm pretty sure this guy's my brother. And he
Yeah.
goes up to him and he's like, hey, you're my brother, aren't you? And he's like, no, I'm not. And he takes his mask off and he's like, see, I look nothing like your brother. But I know he'd be proud of you. And you're like, oh, that's a little bait and switch for the fans almost. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things they do. Like, there's a twist that everyone has to know, right? So let's make the twist a twist. You know, that's pretty typical for like remakes.
But
What's this,
then
that,
they twist
that
again.
twist?
But then at the very end of the movie, someone is like, your secrets, I don't remember what they say, but then we get this flashback of Racer X remembering that he got like a flashback showing that he got plastic surgery to change his face and he actually is Rex.
Yeah.
And I was like, the old double agent trick.
Yeah, that's dumb.
You said I was, but I wasn't, and I was. And you're just like, cool. Plastic surgery. Because like in real life, you'd be like, you want to see what I look like? And he takes it off and you're like, oh God. He's like, I have a brand new face that I got through plastic surgery.
Yeah.
You know, he'd be like, you're a horrible monster.
But if they can build a car in a day, they can build
Sure.
a face.
Build
Yeah.
a face. Yeah. So
That is part of the plot of is it Die Another Day, the James Bond movie with Halle
Face
Berry?
Off?
Oh, that too. But Die Another Day, the bad guy, spoiler alert, gets plastic surgery.
Yeah, that
looks
that
completely
actually
different.
the whole plastic surgery thing is another anime trope
Yeah.
that I've seen a lot where it's like you look just like this person. Well, I got plastic surgery to look just like him. I'm like, that wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
You-
Otherwise, people wouldn't look like horrible monsters.
well, but also like plastic surgery doesn't change the shape of your skull.
It does now. They put plastic bits in.
Ugh.
Yeah, but
They,
I mean,
like,
there
put,
still
like-
are quite a lot of limits. Like they can't make
Oh,
your
yeah.
eyeballs closer together.
Somebody could.
I don't know about that.
There's a guy in Japan who has gotten plastic surgery and surgeries to become a border collie.
Yeah, so that person is mentally ill. That's
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, if they can make that guy a dog,
Does he look like a dog?
Google it.
No,
It's
absolutely
terrifying.
not.
And I bet it doesn't look like a dog.
I'm gonna Google it for you and send it to you guys.
No, don't do
good
that.
Lord.
Okay, so Will, I
Yeah.
think we come to the end of it. If you were forced to give this a rating, what would you give it?
Okay. Well, so like I do kind of want to be like, yeah, make more movies that are zany and weird because somebody will like them. Just don't make me watch this one again. And I want to give it like graded on a curve, but I'm not going to. I just don't ever see me wanting to see this ever again. And I do think it's like a really big swing. You know what I mean? Like it's like you tried something and I want to be proud of you, but when trying something, you hit me square in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like I am kind of mad at you, even though you tried something.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this movie two. I really hate Spritle. I just like really hate that character, and I don't like him at all. Though I did like that Chim Chim was wearing people pajamas.
Pajamas, yes.
Yeah,
When-
that was
funny.
good.
Spritle was wearing
Monkey
monkey
pajamas. Yeah,
Out of 5.
ape pajamas.
Phil, what do you think of this?
First, I have to apologize. It's a costume. It's not plastic surgery.
Okay, well that's completely different.
Yeah, I thought it was plastic surgery, but I did
That
send
is-
you a
That
Oh
link.
my
is an
God.
entirely different thing.
No. But I did
It's
send
like
you a link
Mission
and you can see it.
Impossible.
He lives his life as a dog.
Yeah, mentally ill people are.
Oh,
like,
no, I know.
exist everywhere.
I just wanted you to see it because it like kind of haunts me.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. Are we just all doing this now? We're all just
Yeah.
looking at this video of a dog man.
I think that this is a movie that I would.
Oh, I did see this. Okay. Yep,
Right?
yep.
I'm
Isn't it
getting nothing but
horrifying?
ads, and I'm already angry, so I'm just not gonna look at it anymore.
Yeah, the ads are the least of the problem.
So much dog hair on my phone, Lucy. Sorry.
I think this is a movie that I think people should watch because it's weird. It's a swing. And I appreciate. Listen, I am somebody who, for a very long time, picked Legend of Korra over Avatar: The Last Airbender because I appreciate the big swing of Legend of Korra. It is a beautiful mess of a show.
Mhm.
And so I appreciate this movie for being so far out of left field. Every other movie from this point on is going to look different to me.
Really?
Maybe. I mean, not really.
Really? No.
But like, this movie was weird. And I kind of liked that. And it was fun. I had fun watching it with you guys. I think this is a movie that, like, if you have fun watching movies with your friends, you'd have fun watching this movie with your friends. This would be a highlight.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, I have to give it a 0. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Let's pinch these turds off out of 5.
Good Lord.
Somebody says that.
I
in this
forgot
movie.
about that.
And I want to say it's Snake Oiler.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Craig?
So is it visually arresting in a bad way? Yes.
Mhm.
But everyone, like you said, the acting is way better than it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we John Goodman said like 5 things, and we're like, he has brought way too much gravitas to this.
He brings so much weight to everything. It's amazing. The man is amazing.
Yes. One of the best actors, not even character actors, one of the best actors to ever live. And I don't think anyone, seriously says that, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Is it a perfect movie? No. Am I going to watch it again? I probably will show my kids this eventually.
Yeah,
I think
I might
Pete
do that.
would probably enjoy this. it's not for, I wouldn't say little kids. There's
No.
too much corporate.
No. I mean, just yeah. Like, oh my, yeah. Watching this with Sean, he'd just be like, "Why is that? Why is he angry? Why is he doing that? Why is he doing?" And then you're like, "Why do you answer so many questions?" And then you watch one of their shows, and everyone says exactly what they're doing and why.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, you're a child."
So I'm also gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. And I'll just use the line we did earlier: Inspector, detector, suspected foul play.
Yes.
And then I would like to, without consulting you guys, I'm gonna do
You're doing this like a ninja.
a new bit,
More like a nunja.
which
How?
is just.
How is it more like a nunja?
I don't know. That's from the movie.
Oh my god!
It
You're
is?
Yeah,
right.
John Goodman says it.
Yeah.
They
Instead of
get
a
attacked
ninja-
by a ninja. Do you not remember that part?
Yeah, it's like more like nunjas, and you thought it was hilarious. Come on, Will.
And he says it's embarrassing what passes for a ninja these days. That's gold.
I thought you were saying N-U-N-ja. And I was like,
oh, no, but that's awesome. That's very good.
That's a $1 million idea right there. So this bit is gonna be, I'm reading the funniest reviews I can find on Letterboxd about it.
Yes.
So first one I have here, felt like it was made by 12-year-olds, non-derogatory.
okay.
This is Top Gun for gay people.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
I don't.
One of my favorite movies to watch while driving.
I like that one.
And finally, like firing Skittles into your eyes for 2 hours.
Yes,
That's
exactly. Which would hurt and wouldn't be any fun at all.
Wait, Top Gun is Top Gun for gay people.
Yeah, that person really missed
I don't really understand.
the
That one at all.
underlying vibe of Top Gun.
Yeah.
Well, but Top Gun is a gay movie for straight people, though, right?
Oh, that's
So
true.
maybe they're saying like this is the equivalent of that. So this is to get, but to what end? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it a straight movie? Is it?
Is it gaying the straights or straighting the gays?
Yes.
Is
I
really
don't
the
know.
question that we got to ask.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we have to ask? No one has to
No,
ask that.
that's all right.
That's not a question anyone should be asking.
Mhm.
Thank you for liking and subscribing to the podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. What?
Aren't I supposed to pick the next movie?
Yeah, we're not quite there
Oh.
yet.
No, I did the thing. I'm sorry.
No,
yeah,
you,
you're right.
you so seamlessly went into it. I was like, this must be what we have to do next.
This
Yeah.
must be correct. I must have missed something.
Man, okay. I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
Okay, so this movie had Christina Ricci in it, and so we're gonna watch a movie called Monstrous from 2022 that has Christina Ricci in it.
Cool.
As long as we can find it somewhere, but we should be able to. It's on a bunch of things. It just says premium subscription, and I never know which one that means.
We got subscriptions.
We'll figure it out.
Pause while Craig Googles how to watch it.
Yes. Oh, it's called Monstress?
Monstrous, like that sack is monstrous.
I wrote down, I just Googled Mount Tress.
I want to know what came up for both of you.
Apparently a Pokemon character.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No.
No, it looks like we need showtime, so we'll see how
Oh,
that works.
boy.
Thank you for liking and subscribing to the podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. If you want to give us your opinion on getting Skittles shot directly into your eyes for 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to know who would want that to happen. This episode is brought to you by Craig. Craig, you brought us this episode. I mean, Craig, we're just glad you're here, buddy.
We
Okay,
love you.
thank
Yeah,
you.
We
yes,
love you.
yeah.
I love you too.
You made this possible. I don't know. If you're interested in hearing your name shouted out and want to help support us, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/mumbleandtrug.
If you like what you heard, consider driving over to one of our social media platforms
How
and
so?
leaving a review.
You don't drive to those places? It's on people's phones. They don't need to drive.
Consider driving to your computer and leaving a
That
review.
makes even less sense.
Consider driving to the news
I'm just giving you some
store.
notes as the producer. I thought.
Consider driving to the post office and mailing us a letter
There we go. That
that
works. That one works.
says, "We like you." No return address.
Yeah, just that.
That's,
And it's like cut out of a magazine.
of course.
Oh God.
I mean, how else do you send letters?
Yeah.
What's a letter?
That's all for this episode. I'm Phil Vroom Vroom Kessel.
And I'm Will. I forgot it. Something Pete. Something Chaos Pirate. Captain Nemo.
Captain Terror.
Captain Terror
And
showed us.
I'm Craig Miner 49er. Yahoo!
Yes, the Snake Oiler.
Snake Oiler.
Go watch
Mm.
a movie.
Yeah, okay.
A movie.
If it's
yeah.
this one, cool. If it's not, I'll forgive you.
Yeah. Don't watch this movie though.
Probably watch it.
Get
Get a couple of friends together.
Yeah.
Watch the movie. Make some pizza rolls while you
do
watch
something
it.
else.
That would
Yeah.
fix the movie.
Do something else instead of watching this movie.
Everybody loves pizza
Just hang out with your
rolls.
friends. Don't watch a movie with your friends.
Just kiss your friends.
Do that one too. Don't watch this movie.
Brought to you by Mumble and Shrug Productions.